Hello and welcome to the What Northern Ireland Means to Me podcast, presented by me, Julia Paul. This series has been produced by Shared Future News to mark the centenary of Northern Ireland and is funded by the Heritage Fund on behalf of the Northern Ireland Office. Shared Future News provides information and personal stories on the topics of peace building, reconciliation and diversity to a Northern Ireland audience and beyond. In this episode, Rich Dale, who's an entrepreneur and an environmentalist, tells us what Northern Ireland means to him.
I was born and raised in Portadown. I've lived in Belfast for about 20 years. Generally see myself as Northern Irish first, but beyond any other identities, whether it's Irish or British or even, dare I say it, European. Like many people, my hometown was a great place to grow up, but it didn't offer the opportunities to flourish. So the reason I moved to Belfast was a university, and then I stayed here, established a business, established friends, and got involved in the music scene here. For me, Northern Ireland means a lot of things, but the word that kind of strikes most is resilience. One of the main things I've inherited from my mum and my dad, and they from their parents, is just that tenacity and ability to, keep going and to make things happen for themselves. I think whenever you look at Northern Ireland as a place, there's so much that can be taken negatively, and there's horrifying stories. But throughout all of that, the human stories, the connections, and the inspiration and the ideas that come to the fore were an irrepressible people. One particular story is my mum and dad's business. My dad started teaching people to drive before there was even a driving test in Northern Ireland, and it was a campaigner for road safety and helped establish the sort of standards that we're used to today. That was a business that grew, started before the Troubles, and could quite easily have become a business that only dealt with one side of the community. But my dad wasn't like that. He had an open spirit, and he treated every person the same. I followed in my parents' footsteps and set up my own business quite early on. Our business started out helping companies work around problems using digital solutions, and then we turned that into a product that we could sell at a larger scale, sort of national and international level. So that kind of Hollywood overnight success story quickly vanished in favor of the slog and keeping focused on your customers and your product, and always looking for better ways to do things. I think Northern Ireland has huge potential, and by having normal, everyday people talking to each other and sharing their hopes and dreams for the place, it has huge potential. People want a better standard of living. Most people understand that we can live in a way that's sustainable. We need to create that critical mass. You see some of these polls that have started to come out, the percentages of people who are now deeply concerned about the environment and the climate, it's very much in the majority now. It's swung the other way. So there is a tipping point, and hopefully the intellectual tipping point happens before the actual ecological tipping point. The whole concept of Northern Ireland in itself is a construct within a construct. Should it need to exist for 100 years? Where will humankind be in 100 years? And its relationship with the planet will speak a lot to where Northern Ireland is.
What Northern Ireland Means to Me is produced by Shared Future News. Our staff include Alan Leonard, Alan Mabon and Julia Paul. Our theme song is Figure in the Fog by Jordan McMurray, with thanks to Music Paths. This and other episodes with transcripts are available at the Shared Future News website, sharedfuture.news. You can also follow us on Facebook at Shared Future News and Twitter at Shared Future. If you would like to suggest someone for a future episode of What Northern Ireland Means to Me, please email us at editor@sharedfuture.news. Thanks for listening.